I was thinking of Justin Trudeau doing blackface.
Dude, you know he just retired.
He's just retired, yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, he's stepping down till they're going to have to find a replacement, and then he leaves.
I liked him better when he was black.
But that was very brief, I think.
But still, dude, it was a fucking vibe then. Bro, people have hammered on that guy so much. But did you see?
Rightly so, man. That guy's a creep.
He doesn't seem like he has
Seems like a communist.
any strength inside of him, of his own.
No.
And he almost seems like a character from a Charles Dickens novel. If you bring up his retirement speech from the other day.
Yeah. Well, it's fake. That's why. It was
like, oh, father.
It's fake. It's all fake. He's like a fake progressive. The whole thing's fake. That's why he was an authoritarian, and he kept cracking down on people's rights, and they all really saw it during that trucker protest, because that's when it was really in front of everybody's face, where you couldn't ignore it. Here's this guy who is he's freezing bank accounts from the people that donated money to the truckers.
He is, though.
Yeah, I don't want to listen to this. Fuck this guy.
But he very much has a character from a Charles Dickens novel, doesn't he?
It's because it's performative.
Look, he looks AI, though. Look at him.
But if you go to see a movie about Charles Dickens, here's one thing when you ever go to see like an old-timey movie, everyone talks in a more elegant and sophisticated manner.
Hello.
Yeah, there's a difference to the way people talked in those like Dickens
I've got rubella, Dad.
Yeah.
Tommy has rubella.
So what Justin Trudeau is doing, he's doing like a fucking strip club DJ voice.
Yeah.
He's like Lexus to the main stage.
Yeah. Good evening, Manitoba.
You don't know who that guy is. You're not getting any of him. That is a mask.
Yeah.
You're not getting any of him.
Well, he went to that Tragically Hit concert. Is that the band Tragically Hit or whatever? Huh? Tragically Hip, yeah. He went to that concert and he wore a jean jacket and everybody thought he was like a vibe, and I think that's how he won that election or whatever.
Wow.
And,
that's hilarious.
And then
he's good looking, he's tall. And he's charismatic. He's figured out a way to bullshit. In the beginning, before he had any power, it worked.
Yeah.
Because he sounded like a sensible guy. But people get revealed when they face pressure. And when he faced pressure during that trucker thing, then he showed his true cards.
Do you think that they'll take Canada in to be the 50s first or second state, whichever one it is?
I think, this is what I think. I think we take Canada and then we go right into Mexico.
Let's fucking go. Whoa.
Yeah, that's what I said. I tweeted that today.
You did?
I tweeted that today.
I didn't see that.
We should let Mexico in too.
I want to be fucking
everybody
Mexican.
keeps sneaking over. How about we just let them stay here?
Yeah, huh?
Just like, how about we go into that? How about what I said? How about what he said? Like, instead of trying to like let all the bad stuff in, how about we make this like totally lockdown safe and then expand safety, expand it. But you got to do it without stripping people of their rights.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
But also there's
a big problem.
Like Poland doesn't let anybody in or out of their country. Is that right?
They don't fuck around, dude.
Poland doesn't.
They don't fuck around.
And that's why, like, why don't some countries like? Well, I guess America is kind of this. It's kind of a halfway house of like ideals over the years. It feels like I always thought there was this like idea of this is an America and this is what we do. It's kind of like how you were brought up, like with the Pledge of Allegiance, civics class, all that type of stuff. Like this is what it means, like forward tough type vibes, Yeah. But then everything kind of changes over time, and now I feel like we don't know what America is, and I think that's the part that seems super scary to people sometimes.
Well, that's the part that's easy to manipulate, right? So in this moment of chaos that we're talking about, I don't know what America is anymore. That's when you get all these fucking activist groups that are not real. That's when you get this discourse online. That's when you get people attacking. And you get real people that get caught up in it too. And they're getting you caught up in it as well, because all these people, like, people are super addicted to arguing with stuff online.
In this fascinating clip from JRE number 1284, Graham Hancock explores the mystery of the Olmec civilization.
I explored the Olmec mystery in considerable depth. It's considered to be the earliest high culture of Central America. Everybody's heard about the Aztecs. Everybody's heard about the Maya. But before the Aztecs and before the Maya, there were a culture who are referred to as the Olmecs. Again, we don't know what they called themselves. That's what the Aztecs called them. They called them the Olmecs, and it means the rubber people, because that rubber-producing area of Mexico. They worked in giant megalithic constructions. What they're most famous for is these huge carved human heads, which can be on a scale of up to 20 to 25 tons in weight, and which have curious features which have been interpreted variously as Polynesian, African, don't look like classic Native American features.
Keep that up.
But one of the things I've realized is that there is no classic Native American feature. That Native Americans are have a very complex genetic story with very many different elements brought into it.
Joe goes on to ask Graham if he knows what the helmets are.
Nobody knows, because no physical example of such a helmet has ever been found, just like no physical example of an Egyptian pharaoh's crown has ever been found. All we see is the stone reproductions of them. There's another fascinating figure from La Venta, one of the Olmec sites, which is the earliest ever image of a plumed or feathered serpent. The feathered serpent is a famous icon. Sitting in the middle of it is this human figure who's holding this strange bag in his hand. And it's just a fact that those identical bags are found in ancient Sumer in the hands of individuals who were considered to be civilization bringers, and they also show up on Pillar 43 at Göbekli Tepe. I call them man bags. And in that case, at Göbekli Tepe, we know they're at least 11,600 years old.
Graham then tells Joe that other skulls have been found in Brazil with similar features to the Olmec heads, suggesting a broader pattern of diversity in ancient populations across the Americas.
It's been known by archaeologists for quite a long time that there are anomalous skulls in parts of Brazil, which appear to show very strongly Polynesian or African features, very much like the features that we see on the Olmec heads. And a number of archaeologists who got into trouble with their colleagues for this have used that to argue many years ago, 30, 40 years ago, that the settlement story of the Americas is much more complicated than we've realized.
Graham then tells Joe that there is genetic evidence indicating that Polynesians and Aboriginal peoples may have had a presence in the Amazon, which could potentially explain the distinctive facial features seen in the Olmec sculptures. He concludes by highlighting the cultural and symbolic links between the Olmecs and the later civilizations of the region.
But what's fascinating about them is they are supposedly the first high civilization of Central America, that they create structures on a massive scale, that you can see connections between them and the later Maya. That whole mystery of the Mayan calendar was clearly inherited from the Olmecs. It wasn't something the Maya made up. The Olmecs used that same symbolism. So the Mayan calendar is actually an Olmec calendar. And if we then consider the possibility that the Olmecs may just be the latest, the earliest surviving manifestation of that calendar, it could go back much further than that.